Hello, fellow Sudokans, and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku Puzzle. It's Monday, the 11th of July, 2022. Hope you're doing okay. It's Monday evening here, and I'm just about to play the Guardian, which is normally the game that I play in the morning, but I've been too busy today to play any Sudoku. I did release a game earlier today, but that was one that I played yesterday, and I think it was quite a popular game as well. But today, Monday, is easy day in the Guardian. That means if you're a beginner, welcome. You probably are a beginner if you're playing this easy level game. And so, welcome to the wonderful world of Sudoku. So, a quick explanation on what this game is about and how to play it. Immediately after, I congratulate the Guardian and other newspapers and the BBC and the group of journalists on their uncovering of the documents showing up Uber's underhand tactics. This is really, I'm just thinking about this is really the way forward for journalism. We've seen the various papers, showing tax evasion or avoidance and or, in recent years, Panama Papers, etc., etc. This kind of investigative journalism is actually doing a great service to people, especially in the days when we have such a lack of belief in the media. And I think these discoveries and this kind of journalism is doing great service to journalism, which is and serious journalism is seriously lacking in many quarters. I think because people hate the and distrust the media in many cases. I mean, and in many cases, rightly so, because they've made up stories sometimes and things like that. And it is good to see good journalism like this being fated around the world. Okay, let's get on with the game. How do we play the game of Sudoku? Right, we have rows across, plenty of them. There's two, there's three, and guess what? If we go all the way down to the bottom, there are 9 of these rows across, and they each contain 9 squares. Excuse me while my mouse actually skips over some numbers it doesn't like. Now, in this top row here, you can see the digit 8, the 2, and the 5. You don't see any number repeated, and that's because numbers cannot be repeated in the same row. So what do? We put numbers 1 to 9 in each row. This row already has 1 and 6 in it. We're looking for all the other numbers. This row already has a lot of numbers in, 9, 5, 2, 6, and 8. So we're looking for the other numbers, 1, 3, 4, 7, 1, 3, 4, 7. That's it. Those are the 4 numbers that we need to complete this row. Now we do exactly the same for each column, okay, downwards, and then we have these blockses. It's a combination word of the word box and block, blocks. I'm just making that one up. So we have these blocks here, and they also contain 9 squares, a small 3 by 3 grid. And guess what we do? Yes, you're ahead of me, of course. We put the numbers 1 to 9 in there without repetition, deviation, or hesitation. Right, okay. Now, how do we play this? How do we find the numbers? Let's say down here we don't have a 2 in this square yet, in this block down here yet, do we? But when we look at the intersecting 2's, we can see there's a 2 in this column, and therefore cannot appear in these 2 squares. And there's a 2 across here, which blocks across here. When I say blocks, it means it disallows any other 2's from appearing. Just checking my telephone, getting messages from here. And so these squares already have numbers in, so there is only one empty square, and we know for sure that the 2 must go there. This game has a unique solution. It can't go down there, it can't go across here. We know that the 2 is in that square for sure. Let's look up here for a 2 in this block up here, shall we? What do we see? We see intersecting 2's blocking across here and blocking across here, and a 2 blocking up here like this. So again, just one empty square. We know where the 2 goes there. Let's say this 2 blocks down here, this 2 blocks up here, and the 2 blocks across here. So that gives us a 2 in that square there. We have 2 across here, all the way down here and up here. So in this block here, a single white square will give us the final 2. Now we have 2's, we have 9 2's, and don't say 18. We have 2 in every one of our 9 blocks. There are 9 of these blocks, I didn't mention that, but there are 9 everything in this game. Everything is in 9's. It's often referred to as a game of 9's. Okay, there are 9 2s, so we don't have to worry about them anymore. No other 2s appear in this grid. Okay, right. Speaking of 9, 9 blocks up here and 9 blocks up here. So in this block up here, I shouldn't use block, I suppose probably should use box or something, because that might confuse people when I use the term block as a verb and then I use it as a noun. Okay, 9 blocking across here and 9 blocking down here. This is a 9 here. 9 blocking down here and 9 blocking down here and across here. This is going to give us a 9 in this square. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do now is show you how to find a 9 in this square here. This square here must contain 9. Do we want to know how? Yes, we do. Right, okay. This column doesn't yet have 9 in it. There is no 9 in this column. Now, as I said, every column needs numbers 1 to 9. So when we look down here, we see an intersecting 9 blocking this square here. This 9 means that this square can't be 9. We can look at these 3 squares in two different ways. We can look at the 9 blocking here. In fact, this 9 blocking every square in here from being 9. We can't have 9 again. So these 3 squares are disallowed. We also have 9 blocking from here and 9 blocking from here, just in case you were looking at it in that way around, it would be true. But anyway, in this column now, you can see there is only 1 empty square in this column, and so we know that the 9 has to fit there. Right? Okay, so let's continue on our quest. I want you to try and find digit 4 in this block over here. Can you do that for me? I'll give you a few seconds. Okay, I think you've had long enough now. So 4 blocks across here, 4 blocks across here, and 4 blocks down here. And that's where our 4 must go. Okay, again, in this block, I'd like you to find a 1 now. Can you find a 1? Where does the digit 1 go? Okay, two different ways to find it. Either the 1 blocks down here and the 1 blocks down here, right? See, from up here. Or you could say the 1 blocks down here and the 1 blocks across here. It doesn't matter, it's the same result. This square is the only empty square, and we know that our 1 must fit in there. Okay, when we look at this column here, there are only 2 empty squares, so it's good to examine and see what's missing. Now we've got 1, we've got 2, we don't have a 3, we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, we don't have an 8, we've got a 9. So we know that in the empty squares, they must contain 3 and 8 because that's all that's missing from the series. Now this 3 means that this cannot be a 3, so we know that the 3 can only appear in this square here, and this 8 is the final number that we need for this column. Okay. Okay, let's look along the missing numbers here. There are 3 empty squares here. Again, what do we have? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't have 5 and 6, we've got 7 and 9, and we don't have 8. So 5, 6, and 8 are missing, okay? 5, 6, and 8 must appear in these 3 squares here. Now, fortunately for us, you can see that up here we have a 5, and we have a 6 in the same column, which is great, because now we know that this square here can't be 5, can't be 6, and therefore must be the other number of the 3, which is 8. We can also say 8 blocks up here, 8 blocks across here, and 8 blocks across here. So that there is the location of 8 in that particular block. Okay, what's missing from these 3 squares here? By the way, for absolute newcomers to the channel, if you've never been here before, welcome, first of all, and please subscribe to the channel. Do me a favor, try and build up the numbers, try and make it make it more than 10 people. It's a little bit more than that, but it's not a very high figure. The missing numbers here are 1, 3, and 7. Now, does that help us? Oh, sorry, yes, 1, 3, and 7. Yes, now the same thing has just applied, that the 1 and the 7 are in the same row. Okay, so this square here can't be 1, can't be 7, therefore must be 3. Now we can say 3 blocks across here, 3 blocks across here. This is our 3 here now. I was about to say, for newcomers to the channel, I was going to say something and I just got, I've lost my way somehow. I was about to say, I don't play these games ahead of time. I just work them out as you see them. So sometimes I get a bit mixed up, or it takes me some time to find the answers or whatever, because I am playing it live. Every game that you see on this channel, of whatever level, I'm always playing the game for the first time. We have 5 blocking down here, and so this square here has to be a 5. What's missing here? 6 and 8. Now we have to look across and see if we have any help on that. No, we don't really have any help on that, and it doesn't really help us much up here either. So that's a way that didn't work. I mean, you know, that's the point of Sudoku. If you're new to the game, you have to look, and sometimes you find and sometimes you don't find. But that's the beauty of the game. You'll find once you start playing it and enjoying the game. So 3 blocks across here, 3 blocks across here. So we can put our 3 there. What else do we need now? I worked out what I can work out what these two are. I did actually work it out before, but I've forgotten again. That's okay. I can see it again. The 5 and 6 go in these squares here. So if this is 5 and 6, this has to be 1 and 9. Okay. So we can see an intersecting 9 here, meaning this square here can't be 9. Now you could do it like that, or you could say 9 blocking down here and 9 blocking across here, and the 9 goes there. So very often you find different ways to find the same information. Okay. Now we can see this 1 blocking across here. We could remember this is 1 and 9, or we could say 1 blocks across here, and the 1 must be in that square there. Okay, now this row here has 2 empty squares, and the missing numbers are 6 and 8. That's what we need to go in these 2 empty squares. And when we look up here, well, we don't find anything, but when we look up here, we do find something. We find an 8. So we know that this can't be 8. So we know that the 8 goes here, and then the 6 goes here. And when we come back over here, we've only got 1 empty square, and that's a 6. We did actually work that out previously, that these 2 squares were 6 and 8. And so we can hopefully remember that. You don't have to remember too many things in Sudoku unless you try to play the game without pencil marks, which is beyond the scope of this introductory lesson. Now, missing numbers in this column, these 2 empty squares here, you can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't have a 5, 6. We don't have a 7, so that's what's missing. Now you can see an intersecting 5 here, and you can see an intersecting 7 here. So whichever way, you could use either of those techniques. The 7 goes here, and the 5 goes here. And the final missing number for this block here, or this row, has to be the same number. It's going to be 8. You can see 8 is missing from this block, 8 is missing from this row. That has to be 8. Now 8 blocks up here, 8 blocks across here and across here, so 8 goes in that square there. Okay. Hope you're enjoying it. It's your first ever game, you're not turned off. If it seems a bit too fast, you can always replay, review the game. You know, you've got the controls on YouTube to go back and watch it again, and you will help my view numbers as well if you do watch it again, right? It will do me a favor. Okay, what else do we need? as I said, you know, sometimes it takes a little while to find the next digit because I am doing, as I speak, as I chat to you, I am trying to find the next number. Where to look next? This is always the thing about Sudoku, is where to look next. If we knew the answer to that, that would be wonderful if we always knew where to look next. Okay, the next place to look is up here. In fact, the next place to look in this block is for 5. Can you find me 5 in this block here? Okay, hopefully you've noticed the 5 blocking here and the 5 blocking across here. And so that's going to put a 5 into that square there. And now we say this 5 blocks down here, so there's only one empty square there. So the 5 will go there. Can you find the 5 in this middle block here? Have a quick look. Okay, right, we've got 5 across here, 5 down here, 5 across here. So smack dab in the middle, 5 goes there. Now this 5 blocks down here, so this square down here can't be 5. We know 5 is here, and 6 is the last number we need. I remembered that from previously, but you could work it out from this block here. 6 goes here. We only have 2 empty squares up here now. We look for the missing numbers. We find they are 3 and 4. That's what we need to complete this column here. We don't have a 3, we don't have a 4, but we know 3 and 4 go there. And we look across here to see if we've got any intersecting 3s or 4s, and the answer is no, we don't, so we can't know what goes there. But now we can work out these 2 squares, knowing that this is 3 and 4, and this has to be 1 and 7 in one of these 2 squares, because these two have to be 3 and 4. Okay, so now 7 actually blocks this square, so 7 goes here and 1 goes there. Okay, I hope you understood that. 1 blocks across here, 1 blocks across here. That's our 1. 1 blocks down here, the 1 goes here now. 1 blocking down here and 1 blocking across here puts a 1 into that square. We have 1 empty square from this column here. The missing number is 7. 7 blocks across here, and so 7 goes here, and now we'll have 1 empty square here. This is a 6, let's put that in, and this 6 blocks up here and 6 blocks across here like that, so there's a 6. Now in fact I could have done this first because there's only 1 empty square here, and that seems the easiest way forward. In fact it's a 3 that's missing here. We don't have a 3 in this column, so 3 goes there. We have 1 empty here, 1 empty there. It doesn't matter which way we go. The missing number here is a 4. The missing number across here is also a 4, coincidentally. And the missing number in this block or this column now is 3. And the missing missing digit in this row is a 3. Okay, so there's not much more to do now, just a few numbers here and there. The easiest one to do is this one because just 1 number missing, and the missing number is 4, I think. Okay, and now there's only 1 number missing here, which is a 6, and now there's only 1 number missing in this row here, which is 4, and now there's only 1 number missing in this block here, this column here, and this row here. 3 ways to get this number, and they're all going to give you digit 6. And then we only have 2 numbers missing up here, but when we examine this column here, we'll find that 4 goes here. And then to finish today's grid, and hope you enjoyed the game of Sudoku, please practice and play. Don't just watch the videos, try them out yourself. The fun is really in the playing rather than the watching, I think. And good luck on your Sudoku career. Bye bye.